There are a few times that we know it is a lot more difficult to not relapse, right? And those times are holidays or events or major milestones. And the funny thing is, it can be good or bad dates, but it works the same. So a really happy holiday, maybe like your birthday that you've always loved to celebrate, that can be a time that you're likely to relapse because you're used to celebrating and you're used to going out and you're used to having fun. And maybe now that's changed a little bit, or that looks a little bit different. It's the same with holidays. So we're approaching the holiday season, well, we're in the holiday season, and this can be a time that is full of both highs and lows, good memories and bad memories, maybe times where you're used to hanging out with people that aren't here anymore, or your circles have changed. It's really, really complicated. And I've been talking to a lot of my clients about this because they're worried about relapsing over the holidays. I have some clients with really complicated grief that have lost people, so the holidays bring up a really deep loss and really intense grief. I have some people that in the past have maybe over self-medicated and they're used to going through the holidays a little bit numb, or on the other end, they're used to partying and going out and having fun that way, and now that looks different because they're trying to be clean and that sort of thing. I also have clients who have struggles with porn, and the holidays tend to be a time that they relapse in that way too, because they feel lonely and they want connection and they don't have that. And so really it brings up issues for everybody, right? It brings up a lot of issues for everybody. So in the next video, I'm gonna get more into walking you through a relapse plan, or a relapse prevention plan, essentially, but one that's tailored for getting through the holidays. So check that out next. But I wanna address some things here in this video that I'm seeing that will kind of help you, just give you some tips and some strategies and some kind of really kind of a change in your mindset. Because as I'm talking to people a lot about this, so this has obviously been coming up with a lot of my people lately, I've just noticed some things and I want to address them. One of those is, if you go into something expecting to fail, you probably will, right? So I have some people who say, I'm really worried about relapsing over the holidays, it's gonna be hard, like, please help me. What can we do? Here are some of my ideas, and I really am lost in other areas and I need support. What can we do? So they're coming at it like, I know there's a problem, I need your help, please help me, right? So that we can work with, because I can offer support and I can kind of fill in the areas that they struggle with or that they don't know what to do with, and I can help them with that. I have other people that come and they feel totally lost and they don't know what to do, but they still are coming to get help and get support. That we can work with as well. I have other people who either aren't communicating that much, or maybe aren't seeing somebody right now, or aren't seeing me right now. So there's that category that just aren't getting any help. But there's also another category that are saying, it's gonna be hard, I can't do this. I can't do this, I can't get through this. And that means that you probably won't get through it without relapsing or struggling. Maybe you will. Some people are really good at living in that fight and feeling like they can't place, which has to be awful, right? And that's not a place that you can live forever, but you can survive in it for a while. But if we go into with the mindset that we can't do something, we probably won't. So that's a major shift that we need to make. And I don't want to put anyone down for struggling, because that's the whole point of this video. I know that you're struggling, and struggles are so normal within this. And we have to switch from I can't to I don't know how even. I don't know how is different than I can't. Because if you don't know how, then you can talk to people and you can get support and you can learn how. And you don't have to do that alone. But it has to switch from I can't to I need help, or I can't to I know this is going to be really hard, but I'm going to do everything I can to get through this. So those are ways that we can kind of flip that. And we don't want to minimize the pain, we don't want to minimize the struggle, because all of that is real. And you can get through it. Maybe it's going to be really hard and you're barely going to get through it. But there are people that can help you, there are things that you can do, and there are ways that you can get through. But we have to switch the mindset. Because if you believe 100% that you can't do something, that's basically deciding that you can't. And I know it feels sometimes like we can't, and of course there's going to be moments that come up and overwhelming feelings of I can't do this, I need this substance or this thing or this person to get through. Maybe that's even like self-harming, right? I have some clients that feels like their only escape. So sometimes it's going to feel like that, and that feels real, and that is real, but you can still get through it, and you can still survive, and you can still stay clean or stay okay or stay grounded through the holidays and through high stress events. So that's something that I really want to drive home. I want to challenge you to maybe catch yourself when you're saying I can't, and flip it a little bit. Maybe even flip it into this is really hard, but I'm gonna keep trying, or this is really hard and I'm gonna get support to fill in the areas that I struggle with. So just try to flip it, and flip it to something that you still believe, right? Don't flip it to something crazy, overly positive, but flip it to something that's a little bit more helpful than I can't, period, right? Because that's just not gonna get us anywhere. The other thing that I want to address is sort of the acceptance and the surrender into this is hard, this is going to be really difficult. Because there's something about accepting that something is going to be really difficult and preparing for it and going into it knowing that it is going to be difficult, but you have the tools or you have the people to help you through it. That is a lot different than being in denial that it's going to be hard, not thinking about it, but knowing it's going to be hard, trying to distract from it and just not deal with it at all, or just continually reinforcing that this is going to be difficult. Again, I can't do it, right? Those kind of, these are just shifts really in the way you look at things, but they make a big difference in the actions that you take and what you reinforce and that sort of thing. So I can't take away the pain of situations or the struggle or the feelings that the holidays bring up for you. I can't take away any of that struggle. I wish I could, but I can't take that away. What I can help you do though is understand that this is going to be difficult and you can get through it somehow. There is a path, right? So we have to try to look for more solutions instead of more barriers and reasons why it's going to be hard. But sometimes really just being like, okay, yeah, this is gonna suck. Like, this is the anniversary of this major loss, or I'm really lonely this year, or I wish I could be spending this holiday this way, but I can't. And that's gonna be really tough, and I know it's gonna be tough. And I am gonna figure out ways to make it so I get through it. So then, not only are you going into it knowing that it's likely going to be hard, but you're also prepping for ways to make it okay. So that's really important, because it's almost like if we fight and get angry and hate winter, right? Winter is still gonna come. It's going to come and it's gonna be awful and there's nothing we could do about it. So we're angry, right? But if we accept it and we know it's coming and we prepare for it, we maybe try to find some positive things in it, we try to find some outlets, but we also are ready for it and we're coping with it and we're ready, then when it comes, it's not a surprise. So we're not angry, so it doesn't bring us down. It's sort of that same concept. So there has to be some acceptance to this. And a lot of you have really, really, really tough things that you're going through and that are going to be triggered. So of course it's going to be hard. Expecting that it would be easy, or that you could just distract from it, or that you're not going to deal with it, that's just not helpful, because it's going to be hard and you're dealing with a lot. So acceptance is a big piece of that. Accepting that, all right, this is going to be really tough, but I can do it. Somehow, some way, I will find a way to get through it. Those are the reinforcements and the affirmations and the mindsets that will get you through really tough things. And I know if you're exhausted and things are awful, it's so hard to kind of pull that energy and that drive, but it's really important. Even if you can pull it from someone else and pull it from somewhere else, right? Like I have one client who thinks of me saying things because they can't manage it on their own. They're like, okay, I'm not at the place where this is coming from me totally yet, but if I imagine you saying it, then I can get through it. So you can pull from someone else's energy, or someone else's affirmation, or someone else believing in you. That could even be celebrities, right? There's so many motivational videos on people that have been through really tough things and keep trying. So if you don't have your own motivation, pull from someone else's, or pull from someone else's energy to get through, or someone else's belief in being able to survive and get through hard things. So those are some of my tips. I also think, like I mentioned earlier, that we really have to change the mindset of finding solutions instead of seeing barriers and reasons why it won't work. And sometimes that's really hard, because there are way more barriers than there are solutions, it seems, but there always are some solutions. Sometimes we just have to get creative, or we have to look for them a little bit more. So the next video, I'm gonna walk you through kind of a coping plan, kind of help you find different ways to work things, and really just help you find solutions and help you reinforce that it's the little things, the little steps that we have to take that make a big difference. It's not these giant things that end up helping, it's the small things, it's the daily things, it's the little reinforcements, the little challenges. Those things make a big difference, and they help us to keep going even in really hard times. So check out that video, make your own holiday survival plan and guide, coping skill plan, all of that. I'll help you make that, and reach out to me if you need any help. Comment if you need help, or you want to offer other people support, or you just, you want to share something or get something off your chest. We can use this little community. That's what it's for, right? To kind of get things out and get support and that kind of thing. So utilize that, and I will talk to you guys soon.